Capturing groups allow us to group together parts of our regular expression and then allows us to apply quantifiers to those groups of characters. So let's go ahead and create a string here, and we're going to say foo, foo bar, foo baz, and foo boo. So in our regular expression, let's say that we want to capture foo bar and foo boo. First, let's start with foo. We know how to do that. We're capturing all of the foos. And if we just wanted to get foo bar, we could just add bar there. But if we want to get foo bar or foo boo, we can create a capturing group. And we do that with parentheses. So we just add the strings that we're looking for here. So in this case, it's going to be the exact same result. We've just added bar. But unlike a character class, these characters aren't optional and they need to be in this order. We're specifically looking for bar after foo. Now to get foo boo as well, we can add alternation by using a pipe delimiter to identify the options that we're willing to accept. So in this case, we can just say foo boo. And now when we save that, we've got foo bar and foo boo both highlighted. We can also apply quantifiers to our capturing group. So if I wanted to say find foo followed by 0 or more instances of bar or boo, you can see that we're getting foo followed by 0 instances, followed by 1 instance, followed by 0 instances, followed by 1 instance of boo. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the quantifier there, and we're going to take a look at how capturing groups actually provide us a little bit more functionality than just being able to apply a quantifier to a group of characters. So we're going to console log string.replace, pass in our regex, and then we're going to use a reference to our capture group. And the way we do that is with a prefix of a $sign and then a numeric value representing the index of that capture group. Now we've only got one capture group here, so the index of it is 1. It's not 0 bound. So let's say we're going to replace it with double asterisk around the value that we got from our capture group. So we'll jump over here and load up our dev tools. And we can see that on the first line, we just have our foo, nothing was replaced, but on foo bar, we replaced that with the double asterisks around bar. And on the fourth line, we replaced that with the double asterisks around boo. So let's look at a way that we could use this more practically. So let's say we're going to try to find area codes in phone numbers. We're going to have that in a capture group of 1. So here is a list of phone numbers. This certainly isn't going to be the most robust list. There's obviously international numbers and a number of different ways that people could enter a phone number, but just using these as our basic data set, we're going to try to identify the area code. So let's start off pretty simple. We know that we're going to have 3 digits, followed by 3 digits, followed by 4 digits. And in between each of these, we're going to have a character class for a possible non-breaking space or a dash. And we'll make that whole character class optional. So we'll drop that in between each of these guys. Now these first 3 digits are the ones that we want to capture. So let's put that into a capturing group. And before that, we may or may not have an opening parentheses. So that'll be escape the opening parentheses and make it optional. And then after that, we may or may not have a closing parentheses. So I think we're looking pretty good. Let's save that and see where we're at. So cool. We've been able to identify the area code on each of those lines referenced inside of this capture group. So one last thing to mention is you may want to opt out of the actual storing of a reference, creating memory for that reference of your capture group. You may just want to use it for the alternation feature. So if you want to opt out of the actual capturing and storing that reference, you can do $:, right inside the capture group. And if we save that, we can see over here that we're no longer getting a reference to our capture group. We're actually just getting the string $1. So that's an optimization you can make depending on your usage.